welcome to another episode of So I Married a Record Collector. I'm hideelee, and we are still in the C's, and I don't know for how much longer, but I've got another set of 10 records here, and we're going to take a look at them and try to figure out why John has them. Some of them I might already know, some of them I might have not a single clue about it, but I just wanted to say thank you so much to our subscribers. It's been really great commenting back and forth and getting to know some of you. And we just really appreciate you guys. And we thank you for sticking around and subscribing and liking and sharing and doing all that fun stuff. So we're going to start now with continuing on with the C's. So stick around. All right, the first record I remember seeing in John's record collection, looking at the back of it and just being like, what? This is a record called Chameleon Church. Very kind of a psychedelic cover. Look at that. Chameleon Church. You know, might make you think, oh, it's maybe a psych band or prog band, something from the 60s. And then you turn the record around and you look at the photo of the band on the back of the album. And who is that super tall man standing there? The second one here, right there. That is none other than one of the original Not Ready for Primetime players. That is Mr. Chevy Chase. No kidding. To those who didn't know, Chevy Chase was in a band in the, I'm guessing, 60s? I'm gonna say the 60s. On MGM, that put out an album. I don't know if they have any more, but yeah. This is Chameleon Church, and I don't see any songs on here that I know, but it does list Chevy Chase on vocals, drums, percussion, piano, organ, and Roxychord, which I don't know what that is, but who knew? I surely did not know that Chevy Chase was a multi-instrumentalist. So anyway, this record, like I said, on MGM. Does have the MGM sleeve, and if we take it out here, show you the label. Yep, looks like an original pressing. Don't know if it was ever reissued, so maybe original is all there is, but I'm sure John will fill us in with some more trivia about Chameleon Church.
You might remember a couple of videos ago I talked about MGM's failed Bosstown sound promotion, where they wanted to make Boston into the next San Francisco. Well, this record is one of those. This is Chameleon Church on MGM from 1968. Kind of light psych. What this record is known for is Chevy Chase was the drummer in the band. I learned of this probably through studying a price guide or something, sorting gold mine. Found this at a record show at the Coachman Inn in Clark when Izzy was doing record shows before I really knew him real well. Probably paid under $10 for this. It's in nice shape, a little bit of ring wear. It's got the original colorful MGM inner sleeve, and it's on the late 60s blue and gold. Musically, I can't remember much about it. I think it's pretty light psych. It's definitely not like the Beacon Street Union. And the main guy in the band is Ted Myers. I'll have to look up to see if he went on to anything else. But a nice gem in the collection just to say, hey, I have a record that Chevy Chase plays drums on. And he may sing a bit, but how can you tell about it? He's just doing harmonies. But anyway, Chameleon Church, self-titled, 1968, MGM, part of the failed Bosstown sound, Chevy Chase.
Now we have Cher, which surprisingly enough that John has Cher records in his record collection, but I'm pretty sure that he was with me when he bought this because I do really like Cher, at least her early stuff. Sonny and Cher stuff is just kind of, some of it's kind of cheesy, some of it is really cool. I mean, Sonny did write Needles and Pins, and that's a pretty awesome song, and even the Ramones did it. And this does have Needles and Pins on it. This is All I Really Want to Do is the name of the album. Yeah, just basically a lot of covers. The title track. She does do I Go to Sleep, the Ray Davis penned Kink song. This is on Imperial. Does some bird songs, of course.
Here we have Cher on Imperial Records. I believe this is her debut, her first hit, a version of the Byrds' All I Really Want to Do, produced by Sonny, of course. This is a mono copy, if that makes any difference with Cher's music. Found this up here somewhere, Goodwill or I don't know. Can't remember where I found it. Not that it matters, but I did find it up here. Somebody wrote in the back, Carl and Brenda, so it belonged to some couple who maybe idolized Sonny and Cher in the 60s. One interesting thing about this record is she covers Ray Davis's composition I Go to Sleep, which the Kinks never recorded, but I think the most well-known cover is by Peggy Lee, which I have a 45 of.
The Pretenders.
Oh, and the Pretenders, hideelee is reminding me. Didn't have an inner sleeve, so I had to add it, but it's on that classic Imperial label. I always like I mentioned in the earlier video, sometimes artwork and graphics of certain labels attract me. And I always like the Capitol, Liberty, Imperial family of labels. Their artwork and fonts and everything I just really like. But from, I believe, 65 or 66, Cher, All I Really Want to Do, Imperial Records.
Another Cher album, this time the sunny side of Cher. And just what a great cover. Wasn't she just absolutely gorgeous? She's one of the prettiest people from the 60s with that look. And that hair, so lucky to have that hair. And this one she does, Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down, which is most probably well known as a Nancy Sinatra gun song. Elusive Butterfly, The Girl from Ipanema, Like a Rolling Stone. So again, lots more covers. Another one on Imperial. Just some fun covers. And I do, like I said, I do enjoy Cher from the 60s. Easy to sing along with. Her voices, they got that lower tone, and I was known for a little while for my Cher impersonation as far as my voice. So yeah, get me on enough sugar. I can probably do the Cher for you someday. But here's another Cher in John's collection.
Here we have another Cher record, which I think came after All I Really Want to Do. This is the sunny side of Cher and Imperial Records. Another mono copy. I think this was a Goodwill find up here. Again, of course, produced and arranged by Sonny Bono. Probably has most of the Wrecking Crew on here. Cover versions on here. Well, this has her hit, Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down. She does Elusive Butterfly, Our Day Will Come, The Girl from Ipanema, It's Not Usual, Like a Rolling Stone, Old Man River. And I'm looking at this song, Time, and I'm wondering if that's the song written by Keith Coley. No, it's a song by Michael Merchant. Maybe there's like some French songs on here. I don't remember much about this particular record. I don't think we listened to it much. But there you go, original Imperial label. Anyway, The Sunny Side of Cher, 1966.
Up next is a record that I am not familiar with at all. This is Chick Churchill with the album You and Me. There's Chick there. Great hair on him too, huh? A promotional copy, not for sale, but evidently, you did buy it at some point. Trying to see, it's a mystery record for me to figure out why John has this in his collection. Looking at the song titles, not really seeing anything familiar. Maybe he was in a band that John likes. This is a Chrysalis promo from 1973. I can give you the the right side up there.
Next up, I knew of this record. I was surprised that a member of this band who wasn't the leader of the band made a solo record. This is Chick Churchill with You and Me on Chrysalis Records. Sometime in the mid-70s, after 10 Years After broke up. He was the keyboard player in 10 Years After. And I believe he started working for Chrysalis Records in some kind of executive A&R position. Found this at Izzy's when I was just a shopper, not an employee yet. Just thought it was interesting that a guy in that band, I don't know, he's not that he's not talented, but 10 Years After is all about Alvin Lee and his guitar playing. but this interested me because I do dig 10 Years After. And also the roster of guest musicians on here is pretty interesting, because they have Martin Barr from Jethro Tull, Leo Lyons, the bass player from 10 Years After, um, Roger Hodgson, Rick Davis from Supertramp, not that I like Supertramp, Cozy Powell's on drums on a few songs. I don't see Rick Lee, no, but don't remember much about it. Again, I say this a lot. I haven't listened to this since I bought it, so nothing must have stuck out. It is a white label promo. Sometimes I don't know why people get excited about white label promos, because they're more scarce than the stock labels, the stock copies, or it's vice versa. Sometimes promos are more plentiful, but if there's nothing different about it musically, I kind of feel like, who gives a crap? Sometimes I'm like, oh cool, white label promo, and that's as far as it goes. It's not worth $10 more to me. That's my little rant for today. But anyway, I don't think I have Izzy's receipt in here. No. But anyway, Chick Churchill, You and Me, 10 Years After, keyboardist on Chrysalis Records from 1973. So 10 years after, I had one more record in him, Positive Vibrations.
Up next, we have one of what I know is the first of many by this artist that John has in his collection. I think we ran into a big pile of these records somewhere, and he ended up getting quite a few of them at the time. We'll start off with this one. This is the Dave Clark 5. The album is Coast to Coast. I'm pretty familiar with Dave Clark 5 as far as the hits go. This one has Any Way You Want It. You know that song. I don't think I know any of the other tunes. There's the back side. Really do like the Dave Clark 5 hits myself. I mean, the drums are just booming usually, and I can't ask for much more than that. But yeah, this is a Epic release. An Epic release on Epic.
Here we have the Dave Clark 5 with Coast to Coast on Epic, mono copy. Dave Clark 5 records, as you know, are notoriously short. They might be shorter than the Ramones' first album. This one, of course, has the great hit Any Way You Want It, my favorite Dave Clark 5 song, because it has enough reverb to melt your head. I think the best way to hear it is on a 45, which I have. This is on Epic, of course. Got this at an antique mall up here. Dave Clark 5 records, pretty common, not hard to find. There you go, yellow Epic label. All self-composed record songs. Haven't played it in a long time. It's a shame there's never been a proper reissue program for the Dave Clark 5, because, like a lot of people say, including Graham Nash, Dave Clark 5 is a cunt. That's what he says. That's why all the Ready Steady Go tapes he's sitting on. But anyway, Dave Clark 5, Coast to Coast, 1965, Epic Records.
Up next, Glad All Over, featuring Bits and Pieces by the Dave Clark 5. There's a group there, classic group shot on the front. I like how whoever had it before wrote the names of the guys above their heads so they'd know who they were looking at. Kind of a fun little memento of the past for somebody. Besides Glad All Over and Bits and Pieces, I don't think I know any of the other songs on here. This, again, is another release on Epic. You can tell that it looks kind of well worn, but it plays fine.
More Dave Clark 5, the debut album on Epic, Glad All Over. There's two different versions of this cover. They look almost exactly alike. One with instruments, one without. As you can barely tell, but somebody who's a fan wrote the band members' names above their heads. This, of course, has the hit Glad All Over and Do You Love Me and Bits and Pieces. Another mono copy. I guess the Dave Clark 5 is best heard in mono. Don't have to show you the label. It's the yellow Epic label. Yeah, great band, great singles, but lots of people forget. You know, people always think the British Invasion, oh, it's the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, but people forget it. Dave Clark 5 are right up there challenging the Beatles with the Tottenham sound, but you know, they faded out in England early faded out later in America in '68, last top 40 hit, last album. Some singles dribbled out. In fact, I have one of their last epic singles where they cover Neil Young's Southern Man. But in England and other territories, it was credited to Dave Clark and Friends. 'Cause after the Dave Clark 5 kind of disbanded, he did a record called Dave Clark and Friends. But anyway, Dave Clark 5, Glad All Over, featuring Bits and Pieces, Epic Records, 1964.
Now I have bits and pieces going through my brain. But what a good song, right? I mean, just a classic rocking track. Just love Bits and Pieces. Up next, though, we have the Dave Clark 5 with the soundtrack from Having a Wild Weekend. Now, having seen this movie on TCM one day and being super excited that it was on because I thought it was going to be a really fun 60s rock and roll romp, it was kind of bland, in my opinion. It didn't feel romping and fun like I guess maybe I was expecting. Because their music just seems kind of raucous and good time. And even on the cover here, it looks like, woohoo, we're having a wild weekend. And you watch the movie and you're like, yeah, not so much. So, yeah. So, yeah, the title track's on here. They do Catch Us If You Can, which, you know, if you don't know about Catch Us If You Can, was pretty much the inspiration for the Monkees, the theme at least. Yeah, I don't know any of the rest of the songs, but look, it looks like they're having fun, but unfortunately, it looks like somebody might be in blackface right there too. I don't remember that part of the movie, but maybe I just blocked it out. I don't know. Once again, we have it on the yellow Epic label. Having a Wild Weekend.
Even more Dave Clark 5. The soundtrack to the movie, Having a Wild Weekend. In the UK, it was called Catch Us If You Can. Got this at Princeton Record Exchange, $2.99, the infamous unremovable Princeton Record Exchange sticker. The great title track, Catch Us If You Can, which you must know was an influence on Boyce and Hart writing the Monkees theme. And then you have Having a Wild Weekend, which is just a great rock and roll number of Mike Smith lead vocals. I remember hearing that early in the morning, surprisingly, on WNEW-FM while I was driving somewhere. Woke me right up. I was like, damn, that's a good song. Also has a great instrumental in here called On the Move. We've seen this movie. It's no Hard Day's Night. It's kind of a serious, more somber film. And it's just, I forget how our friend Michael Lynch described it. Dave Clark 5 runs around, does something. And yeah, it just doesn't have that spark that Hard Day's Night have. I just remember it because the guy who plays Richard Bouquet or Bucket on Keeping Up Appearances appears in it. It's like one of his first films. But yeah, Princeton Record Exchange, $2.99, Epic, the yellow label. And this is also a mono copy. So Dave Clark 5, Having a Wild Weekend. I just remembered I have 2 copies of this. There's another copy, I think, in the closet we picked up somewhere. One of those cases where like, oh, I can't leave you here. Come home with me.
Next, we've got the Dave Clark 5, more greatest hits. Now, like I said, I know the hits of the Dave Clark 5, and their legend looms large within the 60s UK beat bands of the decade. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe I read somewhere or heard somewhere that Mike Smith from the group, not Mike Smith, I don't know, that somebody in this group owns the rights to a lot of the Beat Club, or is it any of those music featured shows from the 60s in the UK, and they own the rights to a lot of those performances and full shows, but yet they don't do anything with it. So that's why you see things on YouTube from different performances of different bands that kind of come and go and get taken down and get put back up and all that stuff. And I don't know why they're holding it so close to their chest, but maybe it's Dave Clark himself that owns it. I don't know. But anyway, wish they'd loosen those up, because I love seeing those performances from back then, especially on UK television. I mean, they had all the good stuff, in my opinion. Here on the back of the album, They have probably almost all of the ones that John has listed back here. I know I've seen at least many of them, 80-90% of them before. Another yellow Epic label with the stupid plastic bag that we need to replace because those drive me crazy. Again, more greatest hits that I know. Try Too Hard, which I really like. Oddly enough, no, I don't know a lot of these greatest hits. Maybe they were more hits in the UK.
And yet, even more, Dave Clark 5. This is more greatest hits, which is, I believe, is from 1966. They were having enough hits, they warranted a second volume. Or this is early 67, maybe. This has some great songs in there, like Try Too Hard, which is one of my favorite DC5 songs. The instrumental All Night Long. At the Scene, another one. Satisfied With You. That's a bit of a country song. That's like a Dave Clark 5 song. You don't hear much. Of course, Reelin' and Rockin'. Some of these are B-sides, I believe. This is stereo, electronically rechanneled for stereo on Epic. You know, yellow Epic label. The crappy original plastic sleeves that we don't like because they crunch up in there and you can't get them back in. Got this, I think, in an antique mall downtown. Didn't pay too much. Somebody has written the initials C and S, C and P next to a lot of the songs. I don't know what that means. I don't think that's band members or chords. There's not a P chord on the guitar. Anyway, Dave Clark 5, more greatest hits, Epic Records, circa 1966.
I really like this cover. 5x5, Dave Clark 5. Obviously trying to capture some of that Beatlesque look. But I mean, there's just something really cool about just plain black and white. There's the back. What's on this one? I don't know if I know any of these songs. 19 Days, Something I've Always Wanted, Bernadette, You Don't Want My Loving, Small Talk, Pick Up Your Phone. Maybe this was a later one. I don't know. John will let us know. This one again. Epic release. Always on Epic, I'm guessing. This has a little sticker on here, though. That is a promotional album. And it's stereo, because I see it says stereo. So, unfortunately, somebody signed that guy's face. So, June Hope. June Hope, we have your record.
You asked for it, or did you? More Dave Clark 5. The 5x5 album on Epic, 1966. This was an eBay purchase. Little gold promotional album sticker, Columbia Special Products. Ads for all the other Dave Clark 5 albums on there. This has another great favorite of mine, 19 Days. I don't recognize any of the other songs. I'll have to play it again. Pick Up Your Phone, Small Talk, How Can I Tell You, Picture of You, Bernadette? Can't be the Motown song. Let's see if there's anything inside it that might be of interest. No. Again, plastic sleeve, yellow Epic label, nothing to write home about. Dave Clark 5 records, as short as Ramones records, or shorter. 5x5 Epic Records, 1966, the Dave Clark 5.
And our last album in this set of 10 is, surprise, it's another Dave Clark 5 album. This time it's Satisfied With You. I am not familiar with anything on this album. I might be if I listen to it. Maybe I've heard it a million times and I just don't know the name of the song. Of course, the title track, Go On, Do You Still Love Me, I Meant You, Look Before You Leap, Please Tell Me Why, You Never Listen, I Still Need You, It'll Only Hurt for a While, and Good Lovin'. Man, they put out a lot of records, didn't they? I think they were fairly popular here in the US, but I'm sure not as big as they were in the UK. But they're there again.
Yes, another Dave Clark 5 record. I would kind of think this is a more well-known one. As I mentioned in the other descriptions, The Satisfied With You, minor hit, kind of a country sound. This is another one I got downtown in an antique mall. Epic Records, 66, stereo copy. They cover Satisfied You with the hit. Look Before You Leap was another 45 side, which was good. And they also do Good Lovin' on here, which I think is the same song that the Rascals did. No. Yo, it is. R. Clark and A. Resnick, so that's the Rascals song. In pretty nice shade. It's probably cost me less than a sawbuck. a $5 bill. Not much more I can say about it. Dave Clark 5, fun band, but you know, people say, oh, the Monkees didn't play on their records. Dave Clark 5 doesn't play drums on hardly any of his records. Clem Catini plays it, I've read. Stories broke in the 90s in Goldmine, a record collector. But the man was smart. He created this band. He owned all the rights. The other guys were like paid employees of him. And he went home with all the money. And it's a shame Mike Smith passed away right before the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction because he was the voice of the Dave Clark 5. So anyway, I got more Dave Clark 5 in the collection. You're going to see more coming up. But this is Satisfied with You, 1966, Epic Records.
And there we go, another set of 10. That wasn't too bad, now was it? If you can see the record cabinet behind me, we are actually about a quarter of the way through the second little cube here. So that's kind of fun. I have no idea how long it'll take us to get through the whole cube back here. But again, like I said in other videos, we have a whole closet full of randomness that I can't wait to get to as well. Plus we've got our videos that will stick in here and there of our latest purchases. And I just want to give a quick thank you again to everyone who's subscribed or commented or liked any of our videos. We really appreciate it. I know that the more that I'm getting into the vinyl community, I see occasionally there is a little bit of, you know, I don't know if you want to call it dissension or whatever, but there's always going to be negative people and naysayers no matter what community you're involved in or what you're into. And I'm glad that definitely what I've seen so far, the good is outweighing the negative. So hopefully we can be a part of that positive part of things. Trying to make a point of commenting more on the videos that we watch. We do actually watch VC videos more than we watch television lately. So, but we do watch them on our TV. So in order for me to comment, I have to like get my phone and then make sure I go to the video and comment on my phone. So it's a little bit of extra effort, but totally worth it because I feel like we're spreading that positivity and, you know, trying to acknowledge people for their efforts because it is a little bit of work to put these videos together, to film them, to edit them, and to upload them and all that stuff. But we do it because we really love music and we want to share that love with other people and just maybe be a bright part of your day, even if it's 20, 30, 15, 10, 5 minutes of your life that you will spend watching the video. We want it to be a positive experience. So thank you so much. Hope you guys are having a great week. Depending upon when this is posted, it might be the beginning of a new week. It might be the beginning of a weekend. Who knows? But whatever you're doing, wherever you are, we hope that you're having a good day. And if not, hope that things brighten up for you soon. I had to wear my, I love Betty White. Her and I share the same birthday for a little piece of trivia there. And I had to share my little t-shirt that I got, her Stay Golden Betty White shirt. So yeah, stay golden, I guess. Pony boy. So we'll see you next time. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a VC channel, let us know if we're not aware of it currently. We'd love to watch it and check out your record collection too. So thanks so much. Again, I'll stop blabbering so you can move on. We'll see you next time. Bye.